Hello, it's Todd from Vermont Wine Media, coming at you from the cellar. Here we have a couple of bottles. Because it's Chilean, I looked for Chilean stuff, and what was right in front of me at the little store I was in was Casillero del Diablo. This is a Chardonnay 2010. This is a label that I'm very familiar with, and I've talked about it before. In fact, I have another post to do about an asado we had with a lineup of their Carmeneres. And very reliable brand that you pretty much can't go wrong with. They make a lot of wine, and they make a lot of very good wine. And this is just one of their tiers. They make a whole bunch of different stuff, and we'll go into that maybe again at another point. And then this another one that I'm not familiar with, which is Tierra de Antes Chardonnay from Mendoza, Argentina. I thought, what the heck, we could slip a little other Antipodean white in there. So this Chardonnay, it just generally comes from Maipu in Mendoza. And I don't know a lot about this. It's imported by Broadbent Selections. That's a good importer. So that's a good indication. That was why I felt comfortable picking it up. And so I really just did a quick sniff and sip to make sure they weren't awful. And so I'm pretty happy. So this will be actually a more thorough. This one does say that it was in 3 months in oak barrels, further aging in bottle. And I do get some toasty notes, a little buttery, but still there's kind of like a baked apple crisp in the background there. A little bit funky, earthy, not earthy, herbaceous more. Viney. Color. So it looks, yeah, definitely spent some time in barrel, so it got a little bit of oxygen. Stone gravel floor. Helps with the humidity. That's kind of nice. More baked apple in the mouth. Pretty round. A little bit of acidity on the side. Some tartness. Pretty nice texture. A little spicy from the wood. Nothing stands out. It's got a decent balance, and it's pretty tasty. I think that would fit a lot of people's profiles. I tend to like Chardonnay a little zippier and on the acidic side, fresh side. That's what I'd rather say than acidic or acid, because that really some people don't understand that. So let's give this one a shot. That's interesting. The toasted wood notes are more clear, but they're way in the background. This is definitely more open fruit and kind of melony and tropical. Ripe, but not cloying. It's kind of nice and round. Much nicer mouthfeel. That other one was nice, but this is a lot silkier. Still hanging on. There's a viscosity to it. Not heavy. It's still pretty light, but it's sticking around. More intense fruit in the mid palate. And it's still more on the warm tropical side of fruit. Nice lingering. A little bit of candied apple. This one's a little sweeter. I wouldn't call it a sweet wine, but the fruit and the alcohol lend themselves in such a way that it's a little bit on the sweeter side. Both pretty decent wines, and you know the reason why I picked these, and when I said I want something inexpensive, this one's $7.99, and this one I believe is $9.99. Okay, so there's a $2 difference between the two. So if you want to put quality on price, maybe that's the difference. Although I've not seen this one before, so I'll look into it. This may be a new brand, and they're just entering the market. Of course, these guys are around, and this wine can also be found on sale for even less than this. So for anybody that likes a little bit of oak in their wine, this is good. This batch that we're doing has got some oak chips in one of the batches, but it's not intended to present as oak. It's more just to help out the aromatics a little bit. On that note, this is that wine that's upstairs, and this has got a little bit of a cloud to it because it was just transferred 2 days ago. And some of those fine leaves that we were on got put up into suspension, so it's going to take a little time for them to come out. We may decide to filter. Excuse me. We may decide to filter just because we're going to need those jugs before too long for other things. Now see, that's pretty. Much more floral, but that's because this has Viognier in it. It's probably 3/5 Chardonnay and 2/5 Viognier. More citrus. Some melony, or like honeydew almost. That's more what I'm looking for. It's a lot fresher, zestier. Has kind of the crispiness of a Sauvignon Blanc. Not that like as New Zealand eats your mouth up. It's still got some of its acidity. The malolactic fermentation didn't eat that all up. And actually, just out of curiosity, this is by nowhere near right proportions, but yeah, that's because it really is. You know, 14.2 gallon demijohn. One bottle really is proverbial drop in the bucket. So this isn't exactly. Certainly doesn't hurt it. That's the thing about blending. Things tend to fill in the holes of one another. Once in a while you'll get clashes, but grapes like to help each other out. At least that's my feeling. And it's one of those times when the whole can become greater than the sum of its parts. So, cheers, and see you next time.